how is this system working? And how do we make changes to this system if this is a system I got to fight through? At least I know that how the system works. There's folks that come into Congress have no clue that this is how the system works. So how do we reset and reorganize ourselves if the only way we're resetting or reorganizing is over the same systems that are now legally enshrined in our Constitution for us to be able to move forward to conduct foreign and domestic policy?
I think you're addressing something really important, and it's what I've dedicated my life to now, which is it's not about who's running for Congress. I say to people, you think we have a personnel problem in Congress. Of course, we should always try to elect the best people we possibly can, but it's not a personnel problem. We have a structure problem. And our structure is now designed to run exactly the way you see. It's not broken in the sense that there are people who've designed it this way. They like it this way. It works for them. It works for the people in power. And so it's operating just fine according to them. It's broken for the American people. This is part of the reason that I am doing what I'm doing, because I don't think we can fix our government without the structural reforms. So one of the things that would address what you're talking about, there's a whole bunch of them, honestly, but one of them is that we absolutely should have some form of term limits. And people talk about term limits for Congress. I like that. I could be a fan of that. I say could be because if you have term limits for Congress, but don't limit the terms for the staffers and the bureaucrats, then all you do is make the staffers and the bureaucrats more powerful. And so there's a lot of people running around out there, in my opinion, unwisely saying term limits for Congress. And I'm saying, watch out what you wish for, because you might get that. And then all you're going to do is empower the deep state in a way that we're all already aware of and afraid of and don't like right now. So we have to be really careful on term limits. There are other things that I think are really important. Part of what you're describing is that this is how the lobby likes it to work. The lobbyists are the people with a lot of power in Washington, D.C. They like that schedule that you just described. It works for them. They have influence throughout that whole process. A huge amount of the lobbyists that are in Washington, D.C. have worked for the government previously. In fact, this week we just saw the most high profile case in history. Second in command, Navy Admiral, got convicted of bribery, literally, because he was in the Navy. He was directing contracts to a company that he was going to go get a job with afterwards, making $500,000 a year. I think we need to, by constitutional amendment, make it illegal to lobby the federal government if you've ever worked for the federal government. I think it should be a lifetime ban. Working for the government should be public service. I don't mind that they get paid well. Frankly, in some cases, I think they should be paid more than they're currently paid, but it shouldn't be a way for them to get rich after they come out of government. So I think that's another thing we need to do. Lifetime ban on lobbying the government. And then inside the parties, this is where the electoral part comes. We have to focus on structural reforms inside the parties. We have to elect people that are going to break the system that you just described. And we also have to understand who our enemy is in that fight. You described the way the left operates versus the right. Folks on the right are going to have to get a lot wiser. They're going to have to choose and support their candidates earlier, or we're going to continue to run into the buzzsaw that you just described, the bias that's built into the system against good conservative candidates like yourself.
Okay, much appreciated, Mark. It was a pleasure. Hopefully, we'll have you back again once the Commission of States is called. But keep pushing as much as possible, and let's see what we could do with the reset. The system is broken in multiple places, so we have to have a lifetime dedication to trying to reset it. With that said, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Sorgus Singeri, United States Army